the secret files of Teletraan 2.
Hello everyone, and it is comic book time. Welcome to the files of Teletraan 2, where we talk about the moving pictures that do not move, but imply it. With me today we have Andrew Millman, a man from space.
Hello, Earthman.
Andy,
boy.
what can you tell us of space?
It's vast, infinite, and empty.
Feel lonely?
As lonely as usual.
Oh no, I made it dark.
Wah, wah.
How are you keeping, Andy?
I'm fine, thank you. And yourself, Mikey?
Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. We are,
Good.
of course, here to talk Transformers comics and other comics because we like reading other things.
And hopefully we should be back on track with how these come out, since last
Yes.
month's was a bit higgledy-piggledy. I think
yes,
that's the best way to
yes,
put it.
That's the kind way of putting it.
Yeah.
But yes, with this we are all up to date on the comics, so we should be good going forward, nice and calm.
So we've got 2 issues of normal Transformers. Are we only going to have 1 issue of Transformers from here on? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Okay. I thought so. I thought I remembered you saying that it was going to be every month rather than 2 a month, and I thought it was this month, but clearly it's next month. That's the case.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
okay.
So did I actually.
Oh,
But
okay.
then they sort of sprang on us like, by the way, this comes out in very late October. Oh, and this comes out in early November. Oh,
Okay. Weird. So,
why would you do this?
are we assuming that there was some kind of release scheduling issue
From IDW?
Oh,
No, you crazy.
I
Why
say
you
silly
talk? You crazy.
I say silly things when I'm tired.
You crazy. You funny guy. John Baba not fearless.
Yeah.
They lock him in a room saying, you can't control the publishing.
Oh no.
No, I must fix the continuity of release dates.
This is why IDW doesn't send us free comics anymore.
No, I do get newsletters from them.
Do you? Oh.
Yeah,
weird.
occasional emails and stuff.
Are you
and
signed
I
up
was
to a
like,
newsletter thing though?
No, I contacted them once and was talking to them, and after that, I think I was talking to John about something, and then they just sort of started sending it like for the last 6 months. I basically know every single comic that comes out from IDW, whether I read it or not. Like
Oh.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Weird.
want. I know when every issue of that book is out, every single one.
Yeah. See, I'll tell you the only reason I would start reading Sonic the comic, the IDW comic, and it'll never be this, if it was like the old school Sonic the comic, and it had like a bit of Sonic, a bit of Golden Axe, and a bit of other properties that nobody below my age has ever heard of.
Yeah,
Not like
I'd start
massively
reading-
below my age, but maybe like 5 years below my age, and no one would care.
Yeah. I'd start reading if it was like, we're introducing Supersonic, and then they show a picture of him and he's got crazy swirly eyes.
But Mikey, Mutant League Football. Mutant League Football, Mikey.
I'm not saying that wouldn't encourage me to read it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to get me to read it, there is a single guarantee.
Oh, you mean pure Sonic if there was nothing else, if it was just like a pure, unadulterated Sonic comic? Yeah, that would make sense. Crazy
Yeah.
Sonic with his spiky teeth and his swirly eyes.
Because regular Supersonic is boring.
Well, yeah, that was the cool thing about, like, I never read the comics, because I was at that stage of my life where I was like, I'll never need to read, fuck you, mum. So
I don't need your reading. What's that sign say? Stop. Not today.
I was really heavily into not reading, so whenever I had comics, I was enjoying the visual aspect of it, which I think probably explains why I like visual media as much as I do, versus novels. It's extended from my childhood, which I'm happy with. But I always thought the artwork for Supersonic was really good. Like, he looked like a threat. Like, you didn't want to fuck with Supersonic. If he's just Golden Sonic, who cares? It's just like, he's a Super Saiyan. Ugh.
Yeah, and like, also that time I was listening to also some Goku, and I said, like, is this based off Supersonic? And I was like, no, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. But I just, like, when I first encountered Archie Sonic, and I was just like, oh.
Simple.
I'm sad now.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure the stories, like, apparently the stories, like, when they got good, they were amazing, but I'm just like,
sure.
But he's just gold.
Was there ever a story where Sonic was turned into a human being and he was being looked after by his mum, and his mum turned out to be Dr. Kinterbor? And who is Dr. Kinterbor, Mikey? Who is he? I love that. I love the Dr. Kinterbor. Who's that?
God.
It's Dr. Robotnik, but his name's backwards. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The worst thing that happened. I knew the point where Sonic stopped being cool for me was when they started calling him Eggman, and I was like, "You're joking," and they were like, "Nope, that's his name now." I was like, "I'm done."
Yeah, Ivor Eggman Robotnik.
Yeah, no.
Which means he's chosen that as his nickname, or other people have chosen it for him, and he's taken it upon himself.
Yeah.
Like, you got problems, man. We get you have an obsession with eggs, but you got problems.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from people who should be more robot than yoke. We have Transformers issue 13, written by Brian Lucky, by the Scottish man I once spoke to who likes animals, Brian Ruckley. Colors by Joanna Lafuente and Josh Perez. Letters by Tom B. Long. He quit anyway, or he got fired, or he got murdered. I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore. We don't have to care about Tom Short Long Lee boy.
You're just bitter that he's never done a comic on you. That's what it is, isn't it?
It's all Charles with you, Tom, isn't it? It's all Charles. Edited by David Mariotti and Tom Waltz. And I left the art for last, for while we again have Angel Hernandez handling stuff outside of your core cast, really. The main cast is drawn by the irascible Alex Milne. And since he made this public, I feel okay saying this, but Alex is just after some surgery, so we wish him the very best.
Yes, hope you're doing well, Alex.
Yeah,
if you
we love
listen to our terrible show.
You terrifying ginger bear, you. We love you dearly. I love your ferret. So yes, we open the book with a lot of people getting their tats done because they are in a badass club. Yep, the Ascenta Cons are getting the new Ascenta Con symbol on their chest, the one that looks suspiciously familiar, being delivered by Giaxus. We see Bumblebee getting it. We see a crowd of vaguely familiar faces, I must admit. I feel like there's probably a name in there somewhere. But also just... I will go on about the art later on, but little details like watch every face in this.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything matters. Bumblebee gets his brand. He sees Skytread and he's like, "Hey, dickhead, you got in my way in a fight." And Skytread's like, "Hey, I saved your life." And then Bumblebee beats the crap out of him.
I like the fact that he did a solar flare on him first.
Yeah. Solar flare. Oh my god, it worked for once. Krillin matters. Bumblebee looms over Skytread when Alita steps in and basically breaks up the fight. She drags Bumblebee off and says, "Listen, you are being an idiot. Bumblebee, even if he didn't mean to, he did save your life because Six Shot probably would have murdered you." Bumblebee doesn't care. He knows what's going on. He knows Soundwave is protecting Barricade. He knows this is getting incredibly shady, and he's challenging Alita on her beliefs. We cut over to Chromia and Ratchet, who are healing Windblade, and they're discussing the bodies of Rubble and Brainstorm, and it's revealed that basically anyone could have killed Rubble, even though we know who, because he basically just got beaten to death. Whereas Brainstorm's injuries are weirder. They're sharp object, rotational, micro-scarring, more like machinery than a weapon. So if it wasn't integrated into someone's body, they've no idea who used it. If it was, Hoist and Flatline are looking into it. They're looking for names of people who have some kind of built-in tool. And then we cut to Chromia points out that Sentinel is dealing with a lot of crap, and we basically have a lot of people visiting Sentinel as he slowly gives up on life to the point where I think his wings are killing his chair. Where basically people just keep bringing him bad news, including what I think is Atomizer of all people.
Is that the middle one?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think that might be Atomizer.
Might be right.
Prowl seems to be near the breaking port, but when Soundwave shows up and says that, really this is a very good time to bring about new elections so we can all clarify the Senate's mandate, and Sentinel, I think if he had a gun, he'd have shot him. This is also if it was old Sentinel, oh my god, he'd be wearing him as a hat. But Sentinel is sending sweeps into districts where risers are known to hide. They're breaking into basically slum areas. I'm nearly sure the one in the first panel being chased is what's his name? He was in Wreckers. The one who did the swearing that got cut.
Jackpot?
No. The one who said licking piston.
Oh, the old dude.
Yeah, I think that's him.
All right, okay.
Yeah. They're also breaking into drug dens where they're scaring Gurren Lagann.
Yes. Lagann, I suppose.
Yeah. And finally we cut to Sideswipe and Springer, who are out on patrol. Sideswipe is kind of living the life he always wanted to live, which was the opportunity to shoot everyone within 100 feet and get away with it. Springer is just, I like this. I believe you. I really do. I just don't care. So yeah, and they are trying to track down some risers. In this case, Ruckus, Wirespike, and another guy whose name is not revealed here. They are basically raiding a base looking for some equipment, and they get jumped by Springer. Springer tries to pull a bit of a hard one, but he gets attacked by someone with a drill. A built-in piece of machinery that rotates and leaves microscarring, maybe? Knocks Springer back, goes on the attack, and Springer, trained police officer Springer, gets the shit kicked out of him. I think he's in. He hits a force field of some sort, doesn't he?
Something like that. It seems like it. Yeah.
The risers make a move out of this place. Sideswipe shows up, basically says he should have let him go in. And yeah, Springer's like, nope, this is bad. We're following these jackasses and we are taking them down. We cut to Alita and Bumblebee. Bumblebee is trying to hack into Soundwave's files. Alita points out that trying to hack into Soundwave's files is tantamount to suicide. But as she's in the Ascenta Con guard, she has easier access than, old B has. So he talks her into it. Ruckus and his crew have climbed into an unknown area, which is full of guns. The most rapid of guns. That shoot rapid fire.
No, Mikey. Don't be that guy.
It's a rapid fire weapon.
In no fiction that I have ever seen has a railgun been a rapid fire machine gun.
But
not once.
Andy, it's a railgun. We got a railgun. They got a railgun that the bullets go through him like he's not there. Imagine how many shots you need from a railgun to kill something.
Usually, in any fiction, it's one. It's usually a super long-ranged weapon, and you put it in, and you fire, and you go, done, it's dead.
Do you know what the last railgun in Transformers was, off the top of my head? Stealth Bomber. Well, no, the Stealth Bomber Megatron's cannon.
Oh, thank God. You almost hit. You got my heart aflutter with panic. I'm like, oh, don't say Revenge of the Fallen.
Did you feel the enemy scrotum?
Yeah, so Megatron's fusion cannon, that was the Stealth Bomber one. That was a railgun, was it?
That was a railgun.
Okay.
That's why it didn't have the traditional barrel.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it looked like it doesn't have to shoot a physical object. I can accept in fiction that it shoots energy.
Or energon, compressed energon or something like that.
Yeah, I can accept that, but I can't accept that it fires thousands of shots. All the editor had to do was say, change railgun to Gatling gun, and I would have been fine with it. It doesn't look like a Gatling gun, but I would have been happier with that personally. I'm a picky bitch, clearly, but it got my scrotum.
Yep. Well, it turns out that what they're hiding in is an Immersive Titan, which are Cybertronians who fuse with the surface of Cybertron. We've seen them before.
That sounds like a horrible nightmare.
Yeah, well, but this is a Titan who's done it. Springer's kind of shocked, but my God, these four guys, including Ruckus of all people, have a void damn railgun that goes twack 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 because it shoots so many times in the space of 4 seconds.
And they all miss Springer.
Yeah. Also, it's a railgun. I'm fairly certain it hitting that close to him, you wouldn't need. Yeah, can you imagine a railgun at that range, where the impacts are that close to him?
Oh boy.
He should be, at the very least, 100 feet in the air by now.
Yeah. Even if it's shooting really small things, the impact would be... Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's like a meteor hitting next to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically the other guys decide to leave Ruckus shooting his magic railgun and sort of make a run for it. But then Sideswipe's like, nah, son, I got a gun too. Oh god, they're shooting back. No one told me they shoot back. And yeah, the two boys are pinned down, including a shot where I'm fairly certain it looks like Springer is being hit multiple times by a railgun.
Yeah, are you talking about the one where it's thwack, 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 and he's just kind of lying down? See, I didn't assume he was being hit. It just kind of looks like all the explosions are happening around him. Like if you looked from above, he would be in the center of this giant circle. Like the enemy just can't shoot in the middle of that circle for some reason.
Yeah, which really makes me like they make a point. This guy can't aim. Why isn't it misfire?
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, even misfire would kill you with a railgun. Basically, the boys decide to hunker down until help shows up. Meanwhile, Alita and Bumblebee have found that all the information on Quake and Barricade has been deleted, and before they can dig in, Soundwave scares the pants off them. And they very quickly say, "Oh, Bumblebee would just wanted to know what records we kept in him." And Soundwave has this face of, and he just says, find Refractor and Acid Storm. There's stuff going on at a Titan. We're going to go there and make it an opportunity to, show face. And yeah, they got lucky. Chromia is prepping to go out in the scene, but before she does, it turns out Flatline and Hoist found a name, someone with built-in drills. Might be worth checking out. Have you ever heard of someone called Frenzy? And that's the end of the issue. What did you think?
I'm going to have to do my usual thing and unfortunately repeat myself and repeat what thousands of people I feel have said about this comic. It's still very, very slow. I have a massive... My biggest problem with this issue specifically isn't with any of the writing. It's the distribution of work. Who was assigned to what? And I'll get onto that when we talk about the artwork. Because I think some bad decisions were made there. But the story is okay, I guess. It's
not... I wouldn't say it's one of the better ones, but
no.
It probably... Like, very little happens in it.
Again.
If we're honest. But it feels like setup at this time.
Like, more setup.
Usually it does... But, like, it feels like setup in a micro story. Usually this book doesn't feel like that. It just feels like it's setup. This feels a bit like they're setup building to a payoff.
You think so?
A bit, yeah. Like, okay. Not...
Is that because you read the next issue?
No, I felt that when I first read it.
Alright, fair enough.
Because, like, the stuff with, like, setting up Bumblebee and Alita, what's that building to? Like, just setting up this small story of Ruckus with a magic railgun.
Yeah, the problem is we know that issue 14, this side story with Ruckus kind of doesn't amount to much.
No, although slight spoilers, I actually will give a pretty good review for issue 14.
Okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair point. Like, I think actually, like, some people say that this book is written for trade, and I've also said, like, the novel background of Brian is really showing, because it's definitely all build up. Yeah. Because, like, in a novel, you have to spend this much time on build up. And like, he's got an opportunity to do, like, huge world building, and I feel he may have run away with it a little bit.
I hear a lot of people, I don't mean to cut you off, but I hear a lot of people talking about world building for this series. But to me, like, it doesn't feel like a very big world. Like,
no.
The world building is there, but it's very, it doesn't feel large. It feels very condensed. Like, I still don't really know what the rest of Cybertron's like. I know what the main city of Iacon's like, but apart from that, it seems like I imagine it's just from how the world building in quotations been done. It's one situated place, which is Iacon, and then the planet's empty, seemingly. Yeah, I'm sure it's not, but that seems to be how it's presented.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because thinking about it, the big world building went on in the first few issues at Rubble. And Nautica, her issue had world building in it.
Yes, that's true. Well, that was more, I guess, in a way, galaxy building in a sense, because it gave you an idea of species.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Do you know what? This feels in terms of it, like, I think part of this is not necessarily just Brian. Part of this is David as an editor. Because some of this reminds me of Visionaries.
How so?
In how it's structured, in the pacing of some things. Like, going to when Carlos Guzman or John were the editors, everything felt tighter, it has to be said. Like, part of that, I think, is really the John Barber influence. Because he's a very tight editor, and I suspect he's a very tight self-editor, so by the time things got to Carlos, a lot of the work was already done. But, you know, I think John's efforts as editor were frequently underestimated, and I think since David took over as the primary Transformers editor, I have noticed there feels like there's more of a hand of, well, you do what you do. And I think some, especially like Brian, who's clearly, like I said, it's like I can see the talent, but he's also inexperienced in this medium to a certain degree. I feel like he needs a bit of someone who can say like, okay, these are good ideas, but there needs to be more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from. I think.
Yeah, it's difficult to talk about the story in this issue in particular because really the story is just sort of complementing story elements we already had. And then there's a fight. Yes. That, again, is really more important in issue 14 than it is here.
Yeah. It's like you say, build up to that. Or set up, I suppose, for issue 14.
Yeah, and plus, like, a lot of the character work in this is not on what I'd call our core cast.
No.
Bumblebee gets some attention. Sideswipe gets a small bit of attention, but everything else is like, it's mostly like Springer and Ruckus and probably get the most. And
is it weird that I don't feel we have a core cast, or the core cast seems almost too big? Like, I don't know who the main character is of the story. Is it Bumblebee? I just mean in general, like the overarching. I
don't know. Honestly, I think it's Megatron so far. Just from the amount of who has the most page time.
See, I feel like Bumblebee it should be Megatron because it's meant to be, I guess, his rise to becoming the Decepticon leader. But even so, I don't, like you say, we've spent probably more time with Megatron, and I think you're right, but it doesn't feel like we're spending a lot of time with him. It almost feels like we're spending a huge amount of time with everybody else, and then every now and again going to the main characters, like, I suppose we need to do this. But I'm not sure if that's a problem with maybe an edict that there can't be a main character and it has to focus on loads of Transformers for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah, but plus I have to say I think Megatron suffers from the fact that the story hasn't, because they're trying to keep an air of mystery about it. His personality and goals are fairly ill defined. Yeah, definitely. Like, mostly he just kind of comes across as not thinking ahead. Which, you know, this guy is supposed to draw in literally everyone on some level. But I'll tell you who's a remarkable not character in this so far. It's Optimus. Or Orion, rather. Like, he's barely done anything.
He's not in it that much.
Yeah, but I'd say he's in it to the point of being a background character. I'd say Chromia has a lot more screen time.
Yeah, certainly. Maybe Sideswipe has... No.
Yes, I would say.
Does he have more, or does he just have more Orion, recently? Because maybe they add up to about the same.
But I'd say Orion usually just sort of shows up for a couple of panels. Usually not a full page.
He complains about Megatron a bit, and then goes away.
And then he had an issue to himself, kind of. Issue 6.
Yeah.
We'll give him that. I've got nothing really else to add on the story.
No, I don't think I do either.
So let's talk art.
Should I expand on my point on what I said before?
I think this is wise and good.
Okay, so my reasoning for complaining about how the jobs were divvied up was you get Alex Milne, who is arguably a much more experienced and dynamic artist than the other person. No offense to them, but they're still fairly fresh into this art style, and I think their fight is again a little bit muddled and confusing in places. So why would you give the action scenes to that artist instead of the more experienced artist who is known to do crazy shit? Let's boil it down. Alex is known to do some fucking crazy artwork shit, and you've given him the least action-packed scenes to do. The most action he was given was to punch Skytread in the face and then kick him. And then most of the rest of it has been dictated that Alex just shows people talking to each other. I think that's a really bad... I wouldn't divvy up the job like that myself. I would have the much more dynamic action stuff given to the more experienced person myself.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I will say, I think Angel or Enwell, however you want to pronounce it, their art is coming along. I would say this is better than what they started with.
Yeah, the problem is you've put it next to Alex Milne's.
Oh, so it's cruel. It's cruel. It's not fair. It's like kicking a puppy while putting it next to a puppy made of solid gold. Like, behold, this beautiful thing you will never be. And like I sent you the thing. I read a review today that said, like, the thing about this issue that's remarkable is that you really have to read it twice to realize there was two artists. And I just sort of did a lot of head tilting. And I was just like, but you can't.
Can you imagine if someone said that with, say, like Nick Roche's art style and Livia Ramondelli's in the same issue?
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there, just like hands in your head, going, I don't understand this person.
Do your eyes function like ours? What spectrum are you? A punching space sea mantis?
Yeah.
Are you one of those mantises at the bottom of the sea with 16 eye colors?
Like this isn't one of those magic eye tests where, oh yeah, I can just see the difference in I think the art style's massively different.
It's jarring.
Yeah.
Alex is very expressive, very well done backgrounds,
highly detailed,
which we have been complaining about desperately.
Yes.
Loads of Easter eggs, loads of character drops.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in this issue alone, apart from Lagan, which I feel is that's just Alex. I think he's still trying to find a way to get Kill la Kill in there. So, so we have in the background of a screen we have Deadlock, Fulcrum, Tesserus, Kaon. So that's part of the DJD and good old Drifty Poo. In another one we have the physical Deadlock. We have.
Hang on, sorry, what do you mean the physical Deadlock?
Like Deadlock, like where in the page where he's looming over Skytread.
Oh, right, yeah. It's Drift, but he's got a visor over his eyes, doesn't he? Yeah, okay.
Then, like, look at the generics behind Elite on that page.
Is the small one with the scoop on his back? Yeah, is that a Micromaster?
I don't know, but he looks like he should be someone. But that's the thing; they all look like they should be someone.
Yes.
I mean, like, and then you get into the scene of where Logan is, and like, look, the generics are great, but you've also got bloody Damus in there.
Who? Sorry.
Pre-Tarn.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, there he is. Oh.
Yeah, like there was just all these little threads dropped, that really grab your eye and make you think, "Oh, where is this going? Are these guys going to do anything?" And that's just the nature of having an artist who's really, really good at telling this kind of story. I'd also say the visual storytelling is better with Alex.
Certainly, yeah.
And like Hernandez is not super experienced. No. Alex has been doing this since the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. And is recognized now as kind of like the go-to Transformers artist.
Yeah. I think he's easily one of the big names.
Yeah, no,
easily.
Like absolutely, yeah. Like, but yeah, it's just even the thing about Hernandez's art is like sometimes it gets just completely overwrought by artists who have had less experience than him. Which, like, we've seen several first-time artists in this book who their style may not be 100% what I'd like, but you can see it's like, okay, they're a bit more dynamic, they're a bit more personable. You can see what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, it feels to me he is very limited by his style.
Lots of Dutch angles as well. A lot of Dutch angles.
There's a weird reliance on them.
Yeah. This ain't Battlefield Earth, luckily, but we are like tipping around the corners with the amount of Dutch angles we're going for. Which I don't know if that's like just to try and make a scene more dynamic, but the fact that on a 2-page spread there's, let's see, 1 slide, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll let that one off. 6 Dutch angles. That's a little bit intense.
Lean. All of you will lean. That's not Dutch angles. They're all just leaning constantly. Like they're Michael Jacksoning. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add on this issue. You?
No, not particularly.
So what is your rating?
I want to give it higher than a 4. But I only want to give it that because I really like Alex's artwork and what it kind of brought to the issue. Because it did that polish.
That is still an element of this issue. You can't deny it. You can't. If you're taking this issue of the whole, you kind of have to. You can't say like this is better because they brought in a great artist, and therefore I can't rate because I'm biased because of that great artist. You know?
No, that's true, and it is a visual medium, so I'd go with more of a 5. But if Alex's work wasn't here, it would probably be more of a 4. Like just because the story still isn't doing a lot of interesting stuff. Yeah.
I would probably go with a 6 because as a story it's a 5, but Alex's art elevates it.
Okay.
Because like it's just beautiful at times. His expressiveness and everything else, it's all there.
Oh yeah.
And he even makes the toy designs work a lot more than other people have.
Yeah, that's true.
Which isn't always easy. Let's be honest. But so yeah, for me it would jump up because of Alex's art, but then I would have it as a 5 because like I think this is not one of the stronger issues, but I've seen weaker ones.
Yeah, I think we're in the same boat, but Alex's art just pushes us both up by 1 point.
Yeah,
which is fair. Yeah.
In that case, we'll move on to issue 14, where the art is done by Anna Malkova and Bethany Maguire-Schmidt. So this one's a bit of a different one. We open as Chromia is trying to send in a little drone into the Titan and saying, "Hey, stop fucking shooting us!" And they shoot it, and she's just like, "Oh God, you all suck." But they have a slight problem. They need them alive, and they don't want to kill anyone anyway. And also, if they do any damage to the Titan, there will be a political fallout because the reversionists worship these things, and there hasn't been a Titan forging in who knows how long. Probably because of the edict to conserve energy, really.
Oh, I thought it's because the door size. Like, there's not the door big enough for them to come out
of. We also get an Alex original character in Javelin.
Yeah.
I believe she was Alex original. She is watching the risers, and she gets shot in the head with what I presume, because it's the only weapon I think could reach them, is presumably the railgun.
It'd make more sense. Kinda.
Which is weird because they very quickly point out she's not dead.
Yeah. That you know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of the G.I. Joe movie. Like where he has his heart impaled by a snake and it's like, oh, he's in a coma. He woke up. He's fine. It's like it reminded me of that.
Yeah. We cut the Sideswipe theme of Cup and Strongarm, and basically Cup is saying like, you're eager to fight, you're eager to kill. None of us. I was in the war, mate. That's a bad idea. And basically no one who went through it would want that unless there's something wrong with them.
Cut to Sideswipe smiling.
Yeah, and Decider like, I'm gonna shoot someone.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Prowl is trying to get answers out of the Void. It's not going well. Nautica and Road Rage show up, and there's a nice scene of Prowl going like, oh my god, why won't they listen to me? I'm not shouting, I'm just telling them loudly that they need to suck it up, and you know, your boss is a dickhead. And Road Rage is just like, you prick. Meanwhile, Nautica is having a chat with the Void as Prowl just stares in the window. Listen to me! Listen to me! And she turns out she didn't lie, but she kind of didn't tell the truth to them.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, she traded information with a few half-truths and found out that basically, so the Void that was murdered saw what happened. It saw Brainstorm's murder. It knows what was going on. And also the one that was killed was someone who was really, really, really important, and super bad things are about to happen. And I honestly would have liked more of this because I really want to find out what's so big about the Void. Meanwhile, though, Flak is under orders from Chromia, shooting the Titan in the face. I'm sure the religious guys won't mind that. And
Don't worry about it.
Shooting missiles that blind. Because they're setting right next to the eye as it blows up, and they're just like, oh god! We find out the name of the other one is Cascade. They're the one who shot javelin. Sideswipe is trying to sneak in. He lays some charges, blows a guy over. I think it's wiretap. They shoot stunners. The drill guy catches him because he's a badass, and he launches himself at strong arm. Sideswipe thinks stunners are not the right weapon to use, so he just sort of jams. He breaks one on top of him basically and blows a hole in him.
Was that stunner, or was that one of the charges he used to blow the door with? I think it was one of the charges he used to blow the door with, because he took that pretty badly as his back and like side is kind of ripped up.
And he's bleeding, which also means like maybe they should have drawn those differently. Looking at them, they're actually identical.
Are they? Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, weird.
But yeah, Sideswipe points out to Chromie it's not going well, but then a block appears in the sky, followed by a sled.
Oh no, it's Soundwave.
Soundwave, you've transformed?
I suppose.
I guess.
Yeah.
He shows up with a big stick. Nothing bad can come of that. Mm-hmm. And basically says, like, I'm going to deal with it. And uses his, sound powers to deafen everyone by literally shouting, "We will have peace. I will come talk." Shut up. He says Bumblebee and Alita 1 will come with him. The other two are staying behind. He heads in. Bumblebee and Alita are not confident. He tells them to stay behind. He goes in. Bumblebee naturally follows him. And then there's a and it turns out that Starscream not only has shown up, but Starscream can fly completely silently if he wants.
Oh, I see. To be honest, when I first read that, I thought that was Bumblebee. As he went down the hole. Yeah, I've just noticed that there's a shadow there for start. Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Bang. But it's just a line of like, he does that on purpose, right? But he transforms and he says he's not here to get in the way. He's just going to observe, going to lean casually on walls, and also Refractor's working for him.
Which one?
So he, that's the... And then Soundwave goes in and says he will negotiate Ruckus's safe passage and his friends, and he basically starts saying like, "So, do you have any valuable information we might be able to trade for your safety?" "Nope, none at all." "Really? You don't know any killers, or you don't know where your commander's leadership comes from? You don't know anything about who the Rise might be working with?" Nope, not a damn thing." And it sounded like, "I reluctantly accept you're an idiot, and I will do what I can to ensure you make it out of here alive." And then Ruckus opens his goddamn mouth. In actually my favorite 2 panels of the book, he lets slip he knows about Barricade and his connection to Soundwave. And Soundwave turns around and asks him his name, and he says, "You're a fool. You said you know nothing." That was a very inaccurate statement. And also, I'm doing the emphasis that way because I think it should have been very, not very inaccurate. You don't, the wrong emphasis. He leaves his big stick and says, "This prevents surveillance. Await me to contact you." Bumblebee makes it out just before Soundwave does. And he says, like, "Oh, we gotta leave. These guys have a lot of explosives around here. Could be dangerous." And Bumblebee's like, he left his big stick behind. And it's Starscream is getting an update from Refractor, and who points out, like, you're telling me everything that's going on and not the most important thing, which is what is Bumblebee doing here, which makes me wonder what exactly Bumblebee's role was before that, like, Starscream sees him and says, like, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, because we've had the story dance around why he was kicked out of security, right? If I remember correctly, or something. We still don't know what that is. Yeah,
but apparently, like, Bumblebee is a big deal.
Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah, but then all is solved because there's a massive explosion.
Hooray!
Where everyone gets knocked to the ground. Chromia's like, "Oh god." And then we cut away from that all of a sudden to Landmine and Geomodus. And it's Energon Landmine as well.
Yeah, I like that. That was nice.
Yeah. They are watching some sort of geyser eruption. Landmine has a thing where he transforms when he's afraid, which he apologizes for constantly, despite the fact Geomodus is like, "Dude, you did something super cool. You've broken records. Why are you embarrassed by that?" But then a mushroom cloud, always a good thing. And watching from a distance is G-Axis, Stryker, and Megatron. Damn us all to the void for what we have done and for what we may yet have to do. We are in a race against catastrophe. Now, one misstep and we all fall. And the book ends there. So I'm just gonna get my thoughts out of the way first. In some ways, this book is pretty much more of the same. There are passages here which are just nothing going on, but there's 2 or 3 standout bits for me, and they elevate the book probably to my favorite issue of the series.
Okay.
I really enjoyed Nautica's scene. I thought it had a good bit of character. I like how when he really puts the effort into it, there's a definite feel of energy in the conversations. Like Prowl, I thought was great in this. Like, and that little bit from Road Rage, just ignoring him, but then there's just something hilarious to me of Prowl staring in a small window and just like, don't ignore me, let me interrogate you. And then like I'm slightly more interested in her reveal of something bad is going down with the Void than I am in like, just because like the action scenes in this are more of the same of what we had before.
Yeah.
Better art for action, I would say.
Much better.
Yeah. And nice to see Javelin and nice to see Landmine, but it's more just sort of like fight. We're not really doing a huge amount with it. But then we have Soundwave scene, which is my favorite in the book, of just him getting involved. We've got Starscream coming in and like adding this presumably extra X factor to the whole thing. And I really like the interrogation scene from Soundwave. Just like, oh, I'm gonna let y'all live, and he would have let them all live. And I really like the scene where Ruckus reveals that he knows about Barricade, and then like Soundwave is shocked, and then he looks sad, like he didn't. He's just like, shit,
I gotta kill him now.
Didn't want to. Was gonna let him live. Shit. And then he just sort of, and then like I feel like he's genuinely angry and just like, you're an idiot, Ruckus.
Yeah.
You said you knew nothing. You were fine. Like I like he asked him his name all of a sudden. Like he wants to remember. Like Ruckus is kind of a life lesson to him or something like that. And then he kills him. And the Geomotus thing is odd because I feel that's setting something up, because it's talking about how Cybertron, like something's going on with Cybertron. Because I thought originally it was the explosion, but like this weird thing with the geysers predates the explosions.
Yeah, I assumed it was the cause of the geysers, but second time looking through it now, you're right, it's not the case.
Yeah, and then like we end on Megatron doing nothing really, just being a bad man. I'm a bad man, and Stryker looks odd in this art style.
I think that the last page generally looks like it's almost done by a different artist.
Yeah, who did the last page?
Like I just want to point out,
it's
not
done by
bad art, but
no, it's so it is done by another artist than some of the other pages in the book.
Oh, okay.
But that artist also did like other pages in the book. She did the Nautica pages. Did
she? Because her style blended in with the art style previously. It was just that specific page. Yeah. But overall, I think it is stronger because it has standout moments, which, I'm afraid this book has not had a lot of standout moments. Yeah, very much so.
I still feel like the interconnective tissue is missing, but those are moments I want to see more of. I want to see more of this, like, okay, other shit is going down beyond. Like, if you're not going to have meaningful action, have meaningful dialogue. And I feel like Nautica's scene is automatically more interesting than a lot of what we've gotten before. And Soundwave scene I just think is great because it's both like it's a nice setup for how he handles people, how intelligent he is, but also like a good bit of art. Maybe it wasn't called for in the script, but that bit of art just showing again that bit of extra character to him. Like he now, in my opinion, has more developed character than Megatron.
Yeah.
So I dug that. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed this issue more as well, like you said, because it actually had something to it. I actually have preferred this series so far if there was more focus on the Void, I think. And maybe they could have gone down the route of, maybe they still will, but maybe they could have gone down the route of the Void are actually doing nefarious things, and Cybertronians are actually teaming up together to fight the Void. And then the reason that the Decepticons split up and maybe you get the Civil War is they want to, massacre all the Void and the Autobots don't. and you could have a little bit of difference of ideology, and then kind of shit goes down as tensions rise high and stuff. Rather than I don't know what the point of the Void is currently, because they just seem to be there.
Yeah, originally I kind of thought we were going to have a lot more aliens in this, and so far it's just occasionally we're reminded that aliens are in Cybertron.
Yeah, and I think having a harder focus on the aliens on Cybertron, the native organic life of Cybertron, could have been an interesting take and something different than we've seen for Transformers than just, we're just building up to the war that we all know. So that could have been a little bit more interesting to go down. But like you say, the bit with Soundwave was nice. Him feeling bad about having to kill these stupid people. Just shut up. That would have been, like you say, would have been fine.
Really wish he had the red eyes in that scene, because I think they would have worked better than the yellow.
Well, I mean, you and I both prefer yellow-eyed Soundwave more so than the yellow ones. The red-eyed Soundwave just, it works better for his look. Maybe he'll get the red eyes when, he becomes a full-on Decepticon.
Gets his eyes poked out.
Yeah, he becomes angry Soundwave. It would be really silly, but I'd be all right with it.
Whenever Soundwave is overtaken by his rage, red eyes.
Oh no. No, it was all right. It was a bit more going on. Like you say, the action was I like the artists a lot better here. Both of them blended off each other's styles well, so I didn't notice until, like I say, the last page. Though, I really, from that one page, I thought the art style was very good, and I wouldn't mind seeing more issues like that, except to cover up the giant peg hole in Megatron's shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, add some other greebly detail, but don't have the big port for the toy in there.
Yeah. I still hate it.
The toy look. Yeah, I think that's all you'd need to do. Oh, there's also the hip joint. If you covered that up again, I'd be perfectly okay with seeing more of this art style, because I kind of like the very angular look. Almost anime-ish. I don't want to go down anime route, because it seems like a really easy answer to describe artwork, but that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from it a little bit. But it was better. I'd if I was going to rate it, I'd probably give it a 7. Yeah, I enjoy it. I thought it was good. It had the good bits in.
Yeah, I think a 7 is a good rating for this. I agree with you on the art, so I won't go into any more detail on that. But no, I think this is a good 7, and this book needs more 7s.
Definitely. But it should be consistently 7, and then hitting higher. But we haven't had that, so
yeah. But yeah, Brian, just more of this, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, we'll move on from issue 14 and on to Transformers Galaxies issue 2, which is the art by Livia Ramondelli, writing by Tyler Blazinski, letters by Tom B. Long, and edited by David and Tom Waltz. We follow on from previous events. The Constructicons are currently in a processing planetoid in a kind of dugout coliseum where Scavenger and Longhaul have to fight Bone Crusher. It doesn't go well because Bone Crusher's not a very nice man. And, basically Scrapper is having them do this so that they are prepared to defend themselves or do something physical, because he doesn't like the way things are going. They're building a base and no one's telling them when they can leave, what they can do. We find out, we're like dramatically shown here that they are being deprived of energon. People are afraid of them. And Hook thinks this is beneath them. Scrapper thinks that these guys need to know how to fight. Bone Crusher beats the shit out of them, for want of a better term. As the Longhaul and Scavenger basically, Scavenger's pleading for his life. Longhaul is just very unimpressed with the situation. But Bone Crusher is just being revealed to be just sadistic. And then Scrapper shows up and says, yep, you're doing great. You're afraid. You're not using your fear. You're not using your aggression. Scrapper says, but I'm not aggressive at all. And he's like, Scrapper says, well, we didn't all get trained to fight like you did. Longhaul says that rather, and Scrapper points out like he had bare bones training, like it was like he tried a lot of things. He's a builder, he's not a fighter, but he knows how to fight, so he basically, he thinks that they all need these skills. Meanwhile, Mixmaster it looks like he's taking drugs originally, but what he's actually doing is hooking up to unrefined energon and just getting basically powered up to normal. But we find out that people are watching them to make sure they never do that. So he's got to take it easy, or obviously it'll blow the cover. Meanwhile, on elsewhere in Malux, the guy that I think it was Hook accidentally hit with a girder last issue. He did.
I mean, that's just an assumption, right? Or do you know for sure it's him?
No, it's him.
Okay.
And he is also eaten. So now he may not have been killed by the girder.
Yeah, he's definitely dead.
But he may have been killed by the Insecticons, who are gorging themselves. They don't get to do this very often. They'd like to do it more, and Bombshell is basically up to something. For want of a better term. Also, Bombshell seems to be in charge in this version, which is always weird because everyone tells me like Shrapnel is the one in charge.
Well, it wasn't the cartoon.
Yeah, but it always seems like Bombshell is the one that's in charge. You ever notice that?
Yeah, I always like it. I always prefer it when Shrapnel's the leader, but you've got maybe Bombshell doing something nefarious in the background, almost like a more competent Starscream. That's how I would like to see it done. Like, and Shrapnel's going, no, let's just eat things. It's better. And he's like, but nefarious, no, eat some popcorn. No.
But we also find out they hyper-metabolize materials, and after feeding, they basically start going through a massive energy output.
You get all sticky and streamy.
Yeah, it's like the energon is leaking from every orifice.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's like attaching to each other. It's almost like they've been rubbing off each other.
Yeah, it's like, I guess the best way to describe it, if you haven't read the issue, is like if you imagine someone gets hit by a spider web in like a giant spider movie, and they're like covered in spider web or silly string, maybe.
Bombshell leaves and he contacts Shockwave, and Shockwave basically wants to know what you're doing there, how's it going, why haven't you moved on your targets yet? And Bombshell is apparently waiting for full alienation. We got hungry and ate a dude. We find out that basically that Shockwave is, as always, up to something.
I really don't like that.
But Andy, everything is Shockwave's fault.
That's why I don't like it, because we just spent an entire
universe where literally
10 years of it.
Everything was Shockwave.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to that.
No, I think it was much more effectively handled there as well.
Yeah.
But we need, new universe, new scheme. Maybe everything could be...
But old, like, plot point.
Maybe everything could be Brainstorm's fault.
Oh, that'd be different. I'll give you that.
Yeah, we cut back to the Constructicons, and Scrapper decides to show Bone Crusher who the boss is. He basically tells the boys, watch me, do what I do, you'll realize you're tougher. And Bone Crusher's like, I don't have to hold back with you, do I, boss? I can just beat you to death, can I, boss? And yeah, he's just like, do it. And we find out that Scrapper is a much better actual fighter than Bone Crusher. He dodges him, he slams him into the side of a wall, knocks him out, and we're just like, yep, that's all it takes. Bone Crusher is an idiot. He has a weapon and he charges. Just think. Do what he doesn't do. Think. And then they get interrupted by a buggy boy. A buggy boy who digs into the ground and is kind of really disappointed to find Bone Crusher alive. He drops him and says like, oh no, I'm not going to eat your friend much. And he basically he starts appealing to the fact that the Constructicons have been completely isolated and like, I'm a big fan of yours. Really like your work. Shame that you're stuck out here with no one to talk to, no one to love you, no one to do anything. I know what that's like. And we get the backstory of the Insecticons. They were forged, unique. They had certain proclivities. They were born hungry, basically. They want to eat raw materials, And basically, their function is a cleanup crew. They clean out debris, they eat leftover fuels and everything else. They then metabolize it, they recycle it, and that can be used, and it's into a form of new ultra energon. So, like what they were producing basically was refined energon. This obviously attracted the attention of people like Brainstorm and other scientists. They didn't investigate kindly, but eventually these three were let loose in Cybertron, and they were basically told, have at it. And they did, and, they were part of the system. They got their life-sustaining goodness. They were a major source of fuel. Slight problem, a war broke out. And then, they came across something like... Turns out that eating, living things is way more of a kick than... or even eating the dead is way more of a kick than eating just, inanimate objects. If something has a spark, it's basically like the ultimate high for them. And people during the war, no one really minded because bigger issues were going on. And then the war sort of ended, and people realized that there were 3 cannibals running around eating people. And it didn't go down well. And they got shunned. And what he's doing here, he's trying to forge a connection. Like, people were afraid of us because of what we were and what we do, and people are afraid of you for the exact same reason, because they're not afraid of you 6, they're afraid of him. And you need to realize that you don't just have power over your fear, you have power over everyone else's fear. And you can be free from fear, free from the fear of the form that once shook the very foundation of Cybertron. And we are shown a giant fist implant in the ground. And that is issue 2. Andy, what's your thoughts?
It was surprisingly not bad, I didn't think. You do have to go on the opinion that Bombshells not lying as well.
Yes.
I to be honest... I don't think I think for the context of the story, because it is us being told the background and no information visually is being told differently, I assume it probably is true, but it could be a lie. It would have been nice maybe to have seen or had the explanation of how you get to the point where it's like, oh, yeah, there's some dead bodies. Do you think we should eat that today, lads? Because, because if you're not suggesting that, then it effectively means they had no moral quandaries for eating dead bodies, I'm guessing.
I mean, you could maybe logic it that they saw it as a part of their waste management and then went, holy hell, this is great.
Yeah, but that's why I think that's why you kind of maybe might have been good to touch on that, because if they're not shown to care, or because we've not been told that they even considered that, then I think everybody has the right to be kind of a little bit freaked out by them. Because if you see someone and they're straight, as soon as somebody dies in a horror movie and they just start munching on them and they're just like, wow, I'm hungry, you're going to be like, I'm sorry, bro, I'm not going to be super trusting of you at the moment.
Don't worry. You're going to love drinking my juices after I eat this guy.
Yeah, I hyper-metabolize it. It's going to be awesome. Don't worry about it. Yeah. I actually like the backstory for the Insecticons. It's an interesting one. It's something a bit different. So that's fun. There is a lot of logic to what Scrapper's doing. It's nice to see that they're not all thugs. Bone Crusher's clearly the thuggiest of the thugs. But they're not all just like fucking lads like they were in IDW, which were they're just lads.
They were just on one long bender, really.
Yeah, which there was nothing wrong with that, but these feel different from those guys, yes. At least at the moment. I hope they don't go down the route of just becoming lads or hooligans, because that would diminish them. And I think making them a bit different here, separate from the previous universe, is something that probably should have been done for, the main Transformers book, just to separate them out a bit more so they are a bit more different. These feel different. Yeah. So I like that. I still, I'll never be a fan of the Livio artwork. So I can't. I'm not really going to comment on that, because it's just not for me. I think it's probably done better here, and I don't know whether it's because it's there's light, like during the day or during the light portions of the day, which maybe help. But I really dislike it being Shockwave. as I mentioned before. It's just a rolls of your eyes like, okay, here we go again. And them crafting their own beer effectively is kind of interesting. And I'm wondering if that's a plot point for later on, that they're going to be controlled using Energon because they're hooked on this weird kind of refined stuff.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, like, how they'll get powered up is basically just let us kill someone.
Yeah.
Let us kill someone, we'll eat them, and then we'll let you drink the most powerful Energon you can get, and U6 will be at full power again. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes a lot of sense.
Or kill the little one.
Especially if it's a situation where it's they feel that under pressure, like they're being chased or something, or the authorities are after them.
Yeah.
I can see them doing it there for sure.
One thing I hope is that Devastator just doesn't show up to deal with normal people.
Yeah.
I hope that there's a fight in this.
Yeah. I'd like it to be less like a book focused on the Constructicons, be focused on the Constructicons rather than Devastator.
Yeah, no, I do like that they're spending a lot more time with them individually, because they don't really, like in the first book it was really hinted, they don't really understand what they've done.
Yeah.
Like, they know they combined, but they didn't, like, it felt like there was someone else there. Like, Devastator wasn't fully formed mentally. And, like, I would love it, like, the culmination of this, like, they form, and for the first time, like, it's not a 6-in-1 scenario. It's, there is someone entirely different now in control at the end.
Yeah, like, an entirely new personality has asserted itself over the other 6. Kind of thing.
And I really hope we have at some point we get a story that, like, for combiners, that delves into what happens to that personality when they split.
That could be interesting. Yeah.
Because I always had a theory, but like basically that's when they like the combiner was the amalgamated personality. It was an individual who was amalgamation, had all the memories of the individual Constructicons, and then when they split, they all had the memories of Devastator. And then
yeah.
So, but I'd kind of like it if they went down the route like Devastator maybe doesn't want to split anymore. Like, that would be an interesting story for someone to do, like a combiner that does not want to break up.
Yeah, and is almost forcing the other personalities to stay in the one mode.
Yeah. But no, I think I agree with...
I just had a horrible thought of it being like inside the mind, and it being the prison cell from Naruto. Except the Devastator's on the other side. It's like, haha, I've trapped you in your cage.
The problem is they'd have to make friends at the end.
They would become besties.
Yeah. Then
actually, that I could see that kind of maybe happening if it was done from the Autobot perspective as well.
Yeah.
That's what the Autobot version would be. Oh man, I don't like this.
That's oh man, you know what they'll do? They'll do that with Volcanicus. They'll bring Volcanicus in, and that'll be it.
That would be the worst because you don't want that for the. No, we need to. The Dinobots are not a combiner. Hashtag.
But Andy, everyone's a combiner now. Didn't you read the books?
I did.
And the TV show.
And the problem is the what's it called? The thingy of combination.
Enigma.
The Enigma, that's a thing still. So unfortunately, potentially, I guess, anybody could be a combiner.
You're a foot now. I don't want to be a foot.
Yeah.
But no, I agree on most of the points. I think the Insecticons steal this one.
Yes.
Both visually and narratively.
Yeah.
I like what they're doing with the Constructicons. I think this reads a lot better than the last issue did.
Yes. Well, first issue is very much a first issue. So this
but it was also very concerned with being the nostalgia hit at times.
That is true.
This doesn't have that for the most part. This is okay. Now I'm focusing on telling a story with the individual Constructicons, and like we've got groundwork for each of the characters. That's more than just the caricatures from the TV show. Yeah,
I am happily surprised by this not sucking, to be honest, because I did have a worry after the first issue. I was like, are we gonna go down a Constructicons? Woo, you've seen this before. And it's just like you say, just like nods back to things all the time. It's like I don't know anything apart from the G1 cartoon, but luckily it seems like there's more to the writer than meets the eye.
I knew you were going to do that, and I'm ashamed of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna, flagellate myself tonight. Don't worry.
Yeah, but we're talking about your problems, not your hobbies.
Well, not talking about that.
Yeah. I am a fan of Livio's art. I think it works better for the Ascenta Con scene because they're very purposely portrayed as monstrous.
That's a good point, yeah.
Like, there's the use of silhouettes in that. I really like the one where Bombshells holding up the dead body and basically looks like he's drinking him.
Yes.
Or when Kickback's just eating someone. Which also raises the question, how does Bombshell eat people when he's in robot mode?
I tried not to think about that because it is kind of silly. Especially when he's holding up Scavenger. And it's like, are you going to bite him? And then, like you say, with what? Unless, like, the faceplate, like, opens up and it's just, like, maybe a boar kind of mouth. That'd be pretty sick. But we haven't been shown that, so what can you do?
But no, overall, I think this was a strong enough issue. I'm happy giving it... I don't think it's an 8.
No, I'm thinking
it's
a 7.
A 7. I'm happy with a 7.
Same. A happily surprised 7.
Yeah, no, I think... See, this is, like, setting a nice baseline for the book.
Mm-hmm. And it seems to be going at an okay pace as well. We've got establishment that the Constructicons aren't happy about being oppressed or whatever, imprisoned, and the Insecticons are the kind of igniter of the fiery situation to come.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. No, I want to see where this is going, which I'm very pleased about.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly didn't think would be the case an issue ago.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So yeah, guys, that is the main show. Thank you for your time, your patience, your tolerance of our inane babble. If you'd like to leave us any feedback, you can do that at themoonbase2@gmail.com. We also take feedback over on our Twitter page, on our Facebook, on our Patreon. We will take it on CC Bunker. I don't know if iTunes let you leave feedback, but sure, we'll take it there. Libsyn the page as well. Anywhere, basically. If you got something to say it, and we will find it. You can contact me over on Twitter as Irish Paleo if you want to ask us anything. Andy.
Yes?
What about your bits of this bit?
You can find me at the ccbunker.weebly.com, like Mikey said, where you can leave feedback or just check out the podcast or other stuff. Twitter is cctfw, YouTube is Corporate Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums or on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast, and Patreon, patreon.com/Moonbase2, where you get $2 each month, the extended version of this show. Where we talk about Atomic Robo for this month. And you also get it a week early.
Yep.
And you also get the Moonbase Woo Woo as well, where we talk about non-transformer-y transformer things.
Yep. So guys, keep an eye out for all our wonderful stuff in the future. If you're on Patreon, talk to you in a minute. Everyone else, have a great day. Not you.
Oh.